All right, so what we're doing, we got queens coming from Texas this coming week. So we're going to get our splits ready. So the only thing we're going to do on some of our stronger hives that we're trying to keep from swarming, we're going to go through. We are going to beat all the bees off the lid. Make sure all of our bees are, for the most part, in the hive. Look real quick. I don't see the queen on the lid. Smoke everybody down real good. Take this box off right now. We're going to split the hive. Real quick, we're going to peek for queen cells. I don't see any live cells, but if you come around here, you can see starter cups. If you open them up, there's a drone right there. But if you open these cups up, they're currently, anyway, appearing to be all still dry for the most part. That one might be a little wet, so they may be priming it. So we're getting close. We're not quite there, but we're getting close to swarm season. And on these strong hives, we need plenty of we need to take a reasonable amount of resources away to try to keep them from splitting on us. So what we've got, I've got a box here. It's basically going to be what we call a shaker box. If I see the queen, whenever I go through this box, I will kind of put her into the bottom box intentionally. But if not, what we're going to start doing, because what we're eventually going to want is probably about 3.5 frames of brood, about 1.5 frames of food that goes into our nuke boxes when we come back up here. And the best way I know to make sure all of my bees end up where I want them, I'm going to look real quick on each frame, and then I'm just going to shake them off. And that's all worker bees. We don't see a queen there. We're just going to set it right here since we know we're done with it and move on to the next one. And if while we're going through here, if we happen to see a queen, we will, like I said, intentionally put her into the bottom box. But we're not wasting a ton of time. We're just kind of looking at her look for her half-heartedly. Again, you look through, you can tell the few bees that are left on the frame are worker bees. That goes into the box. As we're going through here, we're making sure that everything we need to make our split is in this box. So here's a frame of pollen. There's a little bit of brood. There's some drone brood. Don't really like the way that this was made. So I think what we're going to do, come in here, we're just going to pop it out. It'll go into the pile. As far as for us to melt down later, and fingers crossed, they'll draw it right this second go around, and we'll get our brood in there. I want worker brood on our frames, and I don't even mind a little drone brood, but I don't like whenever it's kind of on the frame at an awkward angle like that. It makes it harder to work with in the long run. That's a nice frame for split. So there's going to be at least one of our frames that we will probably use in our split. Again, just shaking them off, double checking, looking for a queen. Don't see one, putting it in the box. That's another good frame. That's going to give us at least 2 of the frames we were looking for. Again, just real quick, don't see her. Shake everybody off. It also is a great way to look. You can see there's a brand new baby bee right there, brand new baby bee hatching. Brand new bee, you can tell because they're real fuzzy, okay? Even that one, it's just kind of stuck down its head in the cell. These are bees that are emerging. And that is always a good place to look for a queen because she is attracted to where these bees are emerging so that she can lay eggs. I don't see her. It's an excellent frame as far as for splits. And we won't have to use all of these, but we will use several. Something like this, again, something I don't really want in my frame. We're gonna pull it off, throw it in our bucket, and we just kind of scrape it down a little bit so that hopefully they'll draw it right the second time. Shake these off one more time, double check for the queen. I don't see one. And moving on. Now we know, as long as we shake every bee out of this box, that if we miss the queen going through here, that she will then be in the bottom box. This is a brand new frame from Premier. You can see the pure frame right here. I got it from the North American Honeybee Expo, and they are drawing it out already. So I'm pretty happy with that product, though I've never been upset with anything that was like the right sale from Man Lake. Acorn's been pretty good to me. I got some foundations before, I think the Permadens or something like that, and I didn't care for it, but overall, not had too many troubles with frames. Don't see a queen on that one side. Don't see one on this side, but you can see a lot of wet nectar. That'll be a good food frame. Shake everybody off, double check, you can see the wet nectar in there. Again, you can see some wet nectar. That may be a good one for our food frame if we don't find a better one. Just looking, I don't expect to see queen on a frame like this because there's just not a lot there for her to be interested in. There's a little bit of pollen, but that's it. Double check, take a look. Again, so far, I don't see a queen. Shake everybody off. You can look, we don't see nothing. Now we're almost done, but we're not quite. We need to smoke everybody in here down in case the queen has come up on the sides of the lid or the sides of the box. So we're going to smoke them all down to the box. Another thing you can do is kind of shake them that way. Smoke everybody. Trying to make sure everybody goes down. And you can see lots of brood down the bottom box. We reversed these last time we were here. Now, if you look inside our original box, there's still a little bit. We're going to shake those, look around. I don't see a queen on that. We don't see a queen here, but we will. So now all of our bees are now in our bottom box. The queen, therefore, should also be. And this is a great time whenever you split your hives, just to look to see if you happen to see any mites. I really haven't noticed any as I've been splitting boxes today. Now, what we're going to do is I'm trying to get everybody off the box here, down into the box. We're just going to take our queen excluder, because if you remember, we know now that our queen is in the bottom box. And if you remember, we have everything we need in this box for our split. And what the bees should do is they should move back up as far as all the worker bees, your nurse bees, things that we're going to need for our split, for our mini hive, should come up through that queen excluder, and they will repopulate this box. And it's going to be a little confusing. We've shook everybody around, but they will reorient. You can always see bees coming up here. Only thing we have to do now, stick our lid back on. And that is now a hive that is ready for splitting. And like I said, they're a little confused right now. Everybody's been shook out, but everybody will kind of figure it out. They'll walk back in the front, and we're going to go through, and we are going to do this on a total of 10 different hives. We got 10 queens coming, so we're going to get 10 hives set up this way, making sure we have all the resources we need for our split in the top box. And then whenever we get everything settled, we'll come back when our queens come in. Sometime between Monday and Wednesday, they're going to be shipped, so they should get here sometime between Monday and Friday of this week. We'll come back up here. We'll pull everything we need into a nuke box. We may shake off some nurse bees to give them a little extra population. We'll put a little bit of masking tape just to kind of delay the bees from releasing her from the queen candy cage. And then fingers crossed, those virgin queens that we've ordered will fly off, get mated, and come back, and we'll be able to see that in about 14 days. We'll pretty much, once we put the virgin queens in, we probably won't really mess with them too much for 14 days, and we'll go from there. I'm hopeful that all of the frames that we're going to be taking, all of the younger age brood will have aged out, and so there will be no queens left to make by the time we actually come back for these. And essentially what that will do for us is make sure that they have to accept the queen we give them, which should then fly off, get mated, come back. That will help curb some of our swarming for these hives, as well as help us expand our beehives. If you have any questions, just don't be afraid to comment, like, subscribe, let us know what's going on or what you think if we did something wrong. Thank y'all.